Hello everybody, hola, todo bem, como estas? My name is Elliot and I'm trying to experience Latin America. I feel like, unfortunately, Latin America is a somewhat forgotten region in the world, particularly outside of Iberia. So I want to correct that ignorance in myself, learn about your culture, listen to the music, read the books, learn about the history. So if you're interested in that and want to help me in my journey, please subscribe to the channel and please keep giving me suggestions for things that I can react to and I can learn about. So with that said, I recently read the Mexican classic Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo. It is a quintessential Mexican novel, largely considered by many people as a masterpiece and a classic of 20th century literature. It's thought to have birthed the magic realism genre in Latin America and hugely influential to other Latin American writers such as Gabriel Garcia Marquez. The book starts out with such an interesting and enticing premise. The main protagonist, Juan Preciado, promises his dying mother that he's going to find his father that he's never met, and he's going to travel across the barren lands of Mexico to find the town of Comala where his father presides. Now, it's a very short book. My edition had about 140 pages. So when I first started the book, I read about 30 pages to start with, and then I put it down. Those first 30 pages followed a somewhat linear plot. I could follow it. It was very interesting, very engaging writing, and I highly enjoyed the start of the book. Now, when I picked up the book the second day and started reading it, I got somewhat lost in the plot. And I think that's easy to do because the narrative switches. There's now two competing narrative voices. It changes from first person to third person, from past to present tense. As when Juan Preciado arrives at Comala, it's a ghost town. So you hear stories and the tales of the people who used to live there, and the stories of the ghost-like figures in the town are told in like an overlapping, intertwining way. So it's very difficult to sort of understand what's going on because it isn't presented in a linear way and in a way that's easy to understand. And it's been deliberately written like that, which actually creates the magical, hallucinatory nature of the book. Now, Juan Preciado's father was Pedro Páramo, and he basically was the owner of the town of Comala, and he was a very cruel and evil man. Therefore, all of the tales of the dead people which you hear about in intertwining and overlapping way in different fragments of their life are all very tragic and sad tales. Therefore, the book is very haunting in a way, but also it's very strange, as it's sort of about love, but also death, about time, about memories, about life in general, about decay and degeneration. There's a lot going on, and there's an awful lot that you can unpackage with this. And as I say, it's a very short book, so if you kept on reading it and reading it, I imagine every time you reread it, you would pick up something new. But because there is so much going on, and because the narrative switches and it goes from third person to first person, and all these different tales of the different people, the first time you read this book, you might be quite confused with it and come out of the end of it sort of not knowing what really went on. Other people might read it the first time and recognize how much, magic is in this book. But particularly, I think this book is made to be reread because unless you're a far greater reader than me, that when you first read this book, you're not really going to be aware of everything and understand everything going on. Therefore, I can see why it is considered a masterpiece. I can see why I imagine this is studied in Mexico in schools and universities, because there's so much going on in this book, so much to understand, so many different themes, And yeah, I can definitely see why it is considered a masterpiece in Latin America. So to conclude, I did enjoy this book. I'm definitely going to have to reread it so I can fully appreciate how much is going on, and I can try and unpackage it much better. However, I did enjoy it, and I can see why it is considered an absolute classic. If you enjoyed this video, please like and please subscribe. Please give me your recommendations for Latin American books that I can read. I've already read some Brazilian books, and I've got my reviews on the channel already, and I've got like loads of books I currently got which I'm trying to read at the moment. But please keep giving me your suggestions. Thank you as always. Gracias, obrigado, adios, ciao.